I need to say this plainly. I need to say this plainly. A lot of what high achievers call discipline or high standards, or those who just go, this is how I am, this is how I be, it's actually a game. It's a game that you learned to play a long time ago and you're really good at it. I've noticed that in my work with high achieving women like you're winning at a game that no longer gives you what you want, that no longer serves you. The game showed you how to function, showed you how to be responsible, how to handle things, how to keep life going. And because it worked, you didn't question it, no one else questioned it. Who's going to question something that looks good, at least from the outside? And this game started for many of us early. Like a lot of things that we're dealing with as adults, you learned quickly that being reliable, composed, made people around you comfortable. And it actually kept the key people in your life happy. It made you dependable. So over time, what happens is you become someone who doesn't need much, doesn't require much. And you continue to figure things out without making a mess or without, making it a big deal. And that was not a random design because it worked. It earned you the respect and you were able to create stability, stay in control, manage control. And what happens with high achievers is when the illusion of being in control makes us feel safe. I say illusion because we're not in control of anything, but the feeling that we think the feeling of being in control, I'll say, makes us feel safe. And so what do? We keep playing because the body's ultimate goal, the brain's goal is to keep you safe. And so the brain will keep you doing things that will reinforce your brain's idea of safety for you. But just because a game worked doesn't mean it still fits. And that's why where we are now is this tussle between having a life that has allowed you to accrue a lot of external successes, has allowed you to get a lot of external praise and validation and worth. Whereas inside, there's a widening feeling of emptiness for some of us, feeling like there has to be more to life. A feeling because at midlife is typically where you start to evaluate the next half and evaluate where you are as it relates to where you want to be, and that disconnect widens. It's like, what else is there? Is this the way the rest of my life is going to be? Where I have a whole bunch of things that they said and I thought would give me success, and it did, but the feeling that you thought the success would bring you is missing. So the game that worked because it allowed or enabled or got us certain levels of external successes, markers of success, I like to say, doesn't fit anymore. It never did, but the realization that it doesn't fit, so it's not fitting anymore, is now. And so just because you're succeeding doesn't mean you're satisfied. You are saying that now for yourself, where there's a growing sense of what else is there in my life? When am I going to feel successful, even though I look successful? When am I going to be able to just be myself? At what point do I have to stop efforting and earning, working to earn respect, love, validation, all those different things that we're hoping to get out of the acquisition of things? Whereas that feeling comes from you, it's already there. And those things will never get you to feel like that. They'll just keep you going, chasing that illusion of fulfillment when fulfillment is an internal thing that needs to be done. So that's where that mismatch shows up. because a solid life, a responsible life, a life that is put together, where on the inside it feels muted, it feels like there's a silence, a cap over the feeling that you're seeking, and where you're not broken or need to be fixed. I always want to mention that because as high achievers, the instinct is always to fix, repair. There's nothing to fix or repair. That mismatch is heavy because it is trying to get your attention. It wants you to notice it. And this is where that game that we've been playing becomes visible. Now you see it. Thankfully, what you see, you can unsee. So you start to see the automatic yeses that that override the internal no. You start to see, I'll do it, I'll handle it, I'll show up. You start to see the way you stay composed, even when it's against everything within you, where you're overriding the emotions that want to come out, that would open you up to people seeing that you're vulnerable, and you're you're not a machine. And you also need that shoulder to cry on. You also need people to just be there for you and hear you and check on you and see the real you. You start to see this because that game is tired, it's done. Maintaining composure when truly you just want to say, I can't do this anymore. You see that the way you've been shrinking yourself, making yourself smaller so that things keep going, so that people don't feel threatened. These are not personality traits. They are the result of the adaptations that we've had to make along the way to keep the game going, the game that we didn't know. But thankfully, it's now visible. So you no longer have to stay under that earning worth friendships, validation, seeking, searching, looking for what is already within you. So the question at this point is, now that you've seen it, what is it costing you now? Because until you see, feel, realize that the cost of continuing to do this is greater than the cost of where you are now or doing it, you won't change anything. So my question to you is, what is it costing you right now? What are you feeling in your body? How do your relationships feel? Without you trying to hold on to them and make them good as they are, how are you feeling in your body? What is the impact that it's having on your relationships, in where the spaces that you're allowing yourself to navigate? How do you feel? Are you taking up space, or are you shrinking yourself? Are you minimizing how you feel, your needs, ignoring them? Because many women, until they really hone in on this, they continue to show up tentative. It's like you're waiting for permission to be, waiting for reassurance that you're human. You get to feel, you get to have your desires honored. They're waiting for proof that they finally earned their place here, their positions, the life that they have, or that they're living and that they're living. Most women I see are not afraid of the change in and of itself. What they're afraid of is what happens if they stop. So if the game I've been playing that I didn't know I was playing has now become visible, and I see what is costing me, what would it cost me, or what would happen if I stopped? If I'm no longer the person that everyone comes to? If people see that I don't have the answer, if people see that I'm struggling and I need companionship, or that this situation is not working anymore, and I've been pretending and wearing a mask and showing up with pictures and saying things so that people think it's working. Who am I if I'm not responsible, reliable? Who am I if I'm not consistent, if you can't depend on me, if I'm not showing up, if I'm not always picking up the tab? It's the uncertainty of that that keeps them in this game, even when it has become visible, even when they're feeling it in their bodies, in their relationships, in their lives. the uncertainty of, if I stop, who am I? So you don't stop the game because someone tells you to, or because I'm here saying maybe you should. You stop when you finally see it clearly. And I hope that you're beginning to see it. When you realize that it kept you safe up to a point, but that safety or that safe place is no longer where you want to live anymore. You are ready to get out of goals, pursuing goals, and really follow through with the desires of your heart. Your heart will never lie to you, your soul will never lie to you. I keep saying that. You can wear the mask over here, but your soul's desire is who you are and what you truly desire. So if you know that where you are now is no longer where you want to live, and not physically, I mean metaphorically, you begin to look for a way to choose yourself 100% all the time, a way that is easeful, a way that is authentic and true to your desires, a way that doesn't even have you changing your whole life, because the change that you seek is within. When this changes, then the things shift where they need to shift. You begin to look for a way within yourself to honor that young girl's desires. If this resonates with you, I want you to just lock in on two things. You're not changing your personality, you're not looking for more discipline to find yourself, choose yourself. You just need to stop winning at this particular game because it's costing you your life. And that is what we're doing in the masterclass that I'm hosting on December 27th. It's called the Soft Life Shift Masterclass. It's 1 hour, it's on Zoom, it's with myself and other ladies who are in similar situations where they are no longer willing to tolerate being that version of themselves who shrunk, who pretended, who showed up as a strong black woman, who was doing, over functioning in everywhere, who was so sold on earning stuff, things, feelings that were already inside or that are already inside. It's a free masterclass and it's actually what people should pay for, would pay for. But I'm offering it free because I was there also. And I wish I had had this sooner rather than later, where I wasted years overspending, over functioning, over doing to feel worthy, when really what I thought those jackets and shoes and clothes and degrees would get me was already inside. So if you're tired of bracing for the next thing where you have to prove yourself, tired of carrying the problems, the solutions, the everything of the family, your girl group, your marriage, your relationship, your children on you, and ready to just reconnect with who you are on the inside, knowing that you don't have to be anything other than yourself everywhere and anywhere that you go, knowing that you're worthy, that you're loved, that you matter, that you're enough just as you are. If you're ready, truly, the link is in the description. The masterclass is not promising everything, but it's the first step that you need to get back to that easeful, soft life that your soul is craving for and that you also desire. So, link is in the description. And I'm going to leave you with this question. Take it with you. What game am I playing? Or what game am I still winning at that I don't want to keep playing anymore? Sit with it. Let me know what comes. And hopefully, I'll see you in the masterclass or in the next live. Ciao.